All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth. All right, so today I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about all this week. I, I don't know. I was a little reluctant to do it because I'm tired of talking about this person in question, but it's on my mind, and I was able to compile some scriptures that help me make the point. And what I wanted to talk about in particular was the idea of the idea of cutting tension, right? And what I mean by that is sometimes when you feel a way about somebody. Matter of fact, let me go to this. I think it's in the Apocrypha, but let me just Google it to see what comes up. Oops. Yep. Let's see what comes up. Oh, it isn't. Okay. I thought it was in the Apocrypha. Let me go back. Proverbs 27:5. This is Proverbs 27:5. It says, open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful, right? The full soul loatheth in honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. That said a lot, but I just wanted to touch on this fifth verse here, which open rebuke is better than secret love, because when you feel a certain way about somebody and you don't say it, it creates this tension that everybody can feel. Both parties involved can feel, um, and that's a part of, the elder apostles used to teach us all the time that they can read spirits. A part of that is that tension, that gets created because a person is feeling something, right? And we don't realize, or some of us don't realize, I'll say, that the way you feel, the way you act, creates vibrations that we could all feel, right? Um, Elder Apostle Bar, in a recent video that he just did, a recent walk and talk he did, talked about um, watching a man's pattern. And when you watch his pattern, it'll let you know what type of person he is. And it's very true, man. It's very true. And I've learned from being in the truth for this little bit of time that I have been, that's a very um, distinguishable trait. When somebody can feel something and somebody's acting a certain way, you can tell something is going on. And one person that I know in particular that's in my life that is good at that is the Elder Adama. He reads spirits, and he just has a connection with people that I've never seen in person. So um, we had a couple of guys in our camp years ago. Um, One, as some of you may know, is Izar, and the dude the dude was off in the spirit, and at the time I knew it and I could feel it, but I didn't know how to contextualize it, right? Because I didn't know what it was I was feeling at the time. I guess my senses weren't exercised um, in these types of issues, so I couldn't quite put my finger on it or wrap my finger around it. And there was another case too. We had this other cat that was around us. His name was lo and behold, Johanna, and he came around us for a little while. He had an off spirit too, and I could feel it, but I just didn't know how to handle it and what to do because I didn't, I wasn't experienced. But going back to Izar, he there was a situation between him and another brother in the camp. And it wasn't really a big deal. It was just, regular conversation. But Izar looked at it like a competition. And he said to the dude, "Oh, you got me. I got to get you back now." And it was just a regular conversation where, the other man that was in the camp with us, threw out a scripture and cut Izar a little bit, right? In regular conversation, and Izar, was hell bent on getting him back, right? And I told Izar, I told him, I said, you're going to have to say what it is that's in your mind and on your heart, or it's going to fester and it's going to cause you to develop a disdain for the man. And he responded in the text. He said, "Bitch niggas let shit fester," but he was letting it fester, and it turned out he ended up having a big problem with us when it came out later. When the elder Monatizak, approached him, he had been gone away from us for about 2, 3 years, and still, when he had a problem, mentioned us. And he had been gone away from us for a couple of years, so he always had a secret feeling about us, and it caused a tension that as they say in the old world, the tension was so thick you can cut it with a knife. That's a real thing, man. That's a real thing, and a part of it comes from feeling something about somebody and not saying it. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because um, we have this young man who has come from Ohio, right? We don't know him, right? And he doesn't know us, right? But he's been around at least since the summer. I don't know exactly how many months he's been around, but um, there's something to this guy, right? And we've been we just been watching him just like we are supposed to do, right? We've been watching him, and he said some things in one of his videos that were quite offensive, right? To tell somebody that they're bearing false witness against you, that is not a light accusation. That's not a light accusation to say someone is bearing false witness against you. And for you to say that, then disappear and then come back and not say anything is weird, man. It's a weird thing, right? And you're creating a tension between both parties, us and you, and you have something that you want to say. You have something that you wanted to say. This is not the first time. You came into the area where we have class and you had something to say that day, but you didn't say it. And you had something to say this past week and you didn't say it, right? Now, me personally, I can't speak for everybody else, but I personally was going to speak to you. It was going to be in front of everybody, but I was going to speak to you if you stayed, but you didn't stay. We was lining up to do a salute, and you disappeared, man. And you disappeared. You have something that you want to say, but you're not saying it, right? And whether it's an apology or whether it's you think we should be apologizing to you, it should be said. It should be said. Now, if we got to hash it out, we'll hash it out. But whatever it is that you think you got to say, you should say it, right? And that's just to address, the elephant in the room. You got a problem. You got a problem. You don't think you got a problem, and that's the main problem. You don't think you got a problem. Um, and everybody, it's just weird, man. Like one thing, and this is gonna be my next show that I do, Because as I was thinking through this one, I said, you know what? I gotta talk about self-reflection too. Because I find myself a lot of times I'm always talking about what somebody else is doing, and I gotta ask myself, am I doing that too? So that's gonna be, my next show, Lord's will. I'll do that later on this afternoon. But anyway, man. But anyway, I have some scriptures here that speak to that, right? Where there was something that if it wasn't said could have been looming, right? And it could have caused a problem, right? But the Lord Yahweh Shai never gave us that example, and Paul never gave us that example, and really, quite frankly, that wasn't a way that we lived in those times. Matter of fact, let me see, is it this one or is it this one? No, which one is it? I think it's this one. Yes, this is Matthew's 18 and 15. It says, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. One problem that I notice about people that are on the outside looking in, when we get on them, they act like we don't go through these things with each other. The reason we're so close, the reason why we have such a rapport with each other, the reason why we have such a reverence for the apostles is because we've gone through these things. Do you honestly think that the apostles would have a problem with one of us and not mention it? It's going to come down the pike somehow. maybe maybe you don't get a direct call from the elder apostles. They might have the call come out from somebody else. Or maybe the apostles will put out a general message about something that's going on, and us as the heads of the camp will address it to the brothers that are in our camps, right? But somehow the message gets passed down, right? When there is a fault, when there is something going on, it gets said, man. That's one thing that I never seen the elder apostles do is pull punches, man. Never. Not one of them. Not one of them. If there's something that needed to be said, it got said. And that's something that's good to be put in practice. Cause it takes years off your life when you feel something and you hold it in, man. I had a uh, this is not me bragging. I hope it doesn't come off this way, but I had a lady at my job tell me that I was crass. Right? Matter of fact, let's look that word up. Let's look that word up. Crass, lacking sensitivity, refinement, or intelligence. Right? The crass assumptions that men make about women. Right? So crass is basically what she was basically saying was I say things, and I don't. It doesn't matter how they feel about it. Right? And I don't do that to be mean. I don't do it to be rude. I do it to get it off of me. That tension. I don't like the feeling of a missed opportunity to say something. Matter of fact, and I'm rambling a little bit, but it's all congruent. It all goes together. There was a situation at my job where, um, so to explain it, my office used to be downstairs, and I needed printing cartridges for the printer that was downstairs near my office. The printer cartridges happened to be kept upstairs, right? So I had to go upstairs and get a printer cartridge. But my thinking, I said, you know what? Let me grab two so that I don't have to come right back up here because we run through them things, man. So I had two boxes in my hand, and this dude came out of his office that was next to the cabinet that these things were kept in. He goes, "Take one," with an attitude, and because it caught me off guard, I was, oh yeah, 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 my bad. And I put one back, and I closed the cabinet. And then when I closed the cabinet, I turned around and looked. He was gone, and I never had the opportunity to say to him, like, listen, man, I'm doing this for a reason, and because of that, it's still on me. It weighs on me, right? It weighs me down because I never got a chance to rebut his reaction to me. Like I was just being some useless nigga just trying to be greedy, you know. and I never got a chance to get that up off me, man, and it pains me to to the degree. So I'm not attempting to be my intent is not to be rude then or crass, as the young lady said, right? The intent is to get it off of me, to get it off me, like that, like the old saying goes, to get it off your chest, because it weighs you down, man. Think about all the things that are untold in your life and how much it stresses you out when you think about it. You got to get those things up off you, man, because again, it creates the tension between both parties, and you both feel it, right? You know what the problem is, knowing that you have the issue. The other person may not know, right? But they can feel something ain't right with this dude, man. You know, so that's why I do it. That's why this is important, to get that up off you. So that was a long way around, but let me keep going with the scripture here. It says, "But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established." Right. So this is the progression, right? And this is a part of our culture. Holding things in and keeping them to yourself and worrying about how somebody feels is not what we do in our culture, right? Because like the scripture said in Proverbs 27, open rebuke is better than secret love. It takes years off your life, man, to pretend like you like somebody, or to pretend like there's nothing, you don't have anything wrong with somebody. That takes years off your life, man. Okay. It says, "And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglected to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican." Now, I'll say this in regards to this young man that I'm talking about. You don't have this luxury because you're not a part of the body. No matter how much that hurts you to hear that, you are not a part of this thing. There are prerequisites for you to go through for you to be a part of this thing, right? And again, you you don't have um, the wherewithal to understand that. You don't. Matter of fact, let me go here. This is what is that? This is John 15:16. It says, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you." You don't get to say, "I'm a man of the Lord," because you decided that this is what you want to do. That's not how this thing works, man. There is an evidence of your being chosen, right? You'd be out on the highways and byways teaching the word, right? You'd have fruit that is been maintained, right? You can't just decide that you're a man of the Lord, right? And I can't tell you that the Lord is not working with you. I can't tell you that, right? But what I can tell you from my experience, that the reason why you're not progressing, at least with us, is because you blocking it, man. You blocking it because you wanna be seen. You wanna be looked at, and you can't take the fact that you if you came around other people, that you would have to take a back seat, and you don't like that feeling because you done took the back seat your whole life, and you don't want to do that no more. But that's what you got to do, and you're blocking yourself from the spirit opening you up, man. I'm telling you, we are not inhumane people, man. If there is someone who's shown remorse, how would it look for us to block you from being in part of this thing, man? If you came up and was like, "Look, man, I don't want no problems with y'all. Here's how I feel. This is what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Granted, and you know what? You don't owe that to us, but stay away from us then, right? If you're not willing to do that, then stay away. whatever. You don't owe me shit. You don't owe nobody in this game nothing, and we don't owe you nothing. But stay away, right? So let me touch on a little more of these scriptures, man. This is Luke 22:31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. Right? So, did he care about how Simon felt? A matter of fact, I think I got it pulled up over here. Is this the one? No. No. Let me see. Nope. Nope. Where's that one? Did I pull it up? I thought I did. Or is it this one? Hold on. I got it because I need to read that. Because that's the next one in line. At least the what I'm thinking. Yeah, right here. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna read that one next. Salakia. So the point is he wasn't concerned about Peter's feelings here to tell him that Satan desired to have him. He told him what he felt. He told him what he was on his mind. He said, "Look, Satan's looking to get you, but I prayed for you." Right? Now imagine if he kept that from Peter. Right? How would their relationship be? Right? And I just thought of another scripture where it's because the point is say what's on your mind. Because what happened when John was laying in the bosom of the Lord Yahweh Shai, right? Peter had a problem. He said, "What about that dude? What about him?" He said, "The Lord said, don't worry about who I got with me." Right? They were frank with each other, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Be frank. Say what's on your heart, man. Say what's on your mind. You might get chewed out, but now it's out. It's off you. It's off you. Now there's no tension. Now you know our feelings on you, and we know your feelings on us. There's something to be said about that, man. Okay. So let me go back. Let me go to this one then. This is Matthew 16:22. It says, then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be it far from thee, Lord. This shall not be unto thee." Right. So because the Lord started talking about that he had to go. Something was going to happen to him, and Peter didn't want to accept it. Right. It says, but he turned and said unto Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me. For thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High, but those that be of men." Right. So imagine, right? These things had to happen to the Lord. Imagine if he took the approach like, yeah, they probably ain't ready to hear this. That I gotta go from them. I know they love me, so I'm gonna just not tell them. Right. But why did he tell them? He told them to prepare them for it. Right. Don't the scriptures tell us that wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times? So knowing something, right, prepares you for it. Right? So he didn't hold it from him. He didn't keep it from him. Right? Be frank with the people that you're around, man. And this is people don't think it's offensive, man, to think that we can't see you, man. That we can't see your spirit. You got some I say demons, and not demons as in you a wicked person, but you got demons on you that you need to deal with. Something's on you, man. And you need to have some self recollection, man. You're not the person you think you are, man. I say that with the utmost modesty, man. You are not the person you think you are. You are not faultless. You are not guiltless in this situation. You are not a victim. You acting like a victim, but you're not a victim, man. You're not a victim. For a man to come up to us and say, "Yeah, That dude had something to say. I could feel it in my spirit. He had something to say, but he didn't want to say it. And then when I turned around and looked, he was gone. That's that. We didn't tell that man to say that. We didn't even tell him what's going on with you. You understand? There's been times where I would feel something about somebody, the elder Adama would feel something about somebody, other brothers in the camp would feel something about somebody, and we wouldn't say it to each other. We wouldn't say it, right? And then when we finally reconvened, right, and started to talk about the situation, yeah, bro, I was feeling the same thing, but I was just waiting in the spirit to see how the spirit would play it out. Oh yeah, me too, bro. I didn't want to, be hasty in my feelings, so I just hope it happens every single time, man. Right? Um, Continuing on, right? This is John 6:41. Then the Jews then murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. And they said, is not this Yahushua, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he saith, I came down from heaven? Right? They was talking under their breath. And they probably always felt like that, man. The proof of it is when he was being hung, what did they say? Let his blood be upon our heads. Yeah, give us Barabbas. Let kill that nigga. That's the sentiment that they always had. But again, they was keeping it inside. They was murmuring. But look what the Lord did. He let it be known. He said, Yahushua therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not amongst yourselves. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me, draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. So he talked about it. He didn't leave, because you know how you could come into a room and somebody was talking about you, or like if you be around, especially Levi, Levi, man, when they talking about you, you know it, man. You know, they might be talking to you, talking about you in Creole, but you can hear it, you know it, and you can feel it, right? He addressed it. He met it head on, and he addressed it. And then reinforce this statement. Look, no man can come to me except if the Father sent him. Yes, I'm from heaven. Yes, that's me. So not only did he address it head on, he said it again. You have to be frank, man. You got to get that up off you. Okay. This is the last one here. This is Galatians 2:11. It says, "But when Peter was come to Antioch, I stood him to the face because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles, but when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them that were of the circumcision. And the other Jews dissembled likewise with him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation." Right? But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou being a Jew livest after the manner of the Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews? So he met it head on. He didn't have a feeling and not mention it. And look what happened. We now get this lesson. When we read Galatians, the second chapter, we now get a lesson because Paul was frank with how he felt, man. Matter of fact, let me look that up. Let's see if they have it. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong. Sometimes they be having like a couple different definitions. Oh, they talking about the links. I'm talking about like here we go. Verb frank. Stamp an official mark on, especially to indicate that postage has been paid. No, that's not it. Let's see. Let me see. What's this one? Bam, boom, 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 boom. This is the one I want. It says, Frank, open, honest, and direct in speech or writing, especially when dealing with unpalatable matters. You see? You see that? Look at this. Candid, direct, forthright, plain spoken, straight. Say what's on your heart, man. Say what's on your mind. You know what I mean? We can't stop you from coming out. We don't own Boston. We don't own that park, man. We can't stop you from coming out to listen. But hear this. We feel you, man. And you will always feel unwelcomed if you don't say what's on your mind, man. You always gonna feel that tension. So that's it, man. That's all I got on that one. Lord's will was edifying. Um, we're coming up on some. The world is about to change, man. And if we don't change our mentality, we're gonna fall in this time. We gotta put off all of that old shit that we used to do in the world, telling secrets and feeling a way about somebody not saying something, being mad at your brother and not saying it. That's old stuff, man. The scriptures tell us to put off from us the weak nature, man. Right? We have to change. We have to do things differently. And I'm speaking to myself primarily. All right. So with that, give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well. Honor and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, I say Shalom.